NFC West. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks.
Your 2026 Seattle Seahawks.
Mike Tirico along with Greg Olson. We welcome you. That's the punter, Ethan Evans, to get this started. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Seahawks come out, and they are led by a new quarterback, Sam Darnold. From USC, he's bounced around for his first 7 seasons. This is 5th different franchise as he starts year 8 in the NFL. And Greg, it's year 1 with the Seahawks.
I don't know about you, Mike, but my biggest takeaway from our meeting with him was just how important it is that they get off to a fast start. He made it very clear. They wanted to put their opponent on their heels right from the jump. So I think early in this game, they're going to come out swinging right from the opening whistle.
And a nice run there on first down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Once again, it's Walker. And he'll get about 4 out of that one. That should be enough to move the chains. It is. First down.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass. You can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
In motion is Barner. On 1st and 10, here comes Walker. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
This is pretty impressive from the big guy in the middle, Mike. I mean, typically we see these guys make most of their plays on the interior of the defense. They're big bodies, they're run stuffers. But look at the athleticism here as he's able to get outside the numbers and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
The reception for Rashid Shaheed. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. 13 yards on the catch there. First down, Seattle.
At the 48-yard line.
Off the bootleg. Here's Darnold. A throw on the move is caught. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Operating from the gun is Darnold. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that would be a bit of a letdown.
And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
From the shotgun, here's Darnold. This one snagged by Smith and Jiggy. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. They're locked in on this drive. Second connection for that pair. This one gaining 22.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
It's like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
From the gun, here's the give to Walker. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
Terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Jason Myers on to attempt the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Seahawks will take a 7-0 lead.
Rams nothing.
After the TD, Myers comes on now to kick it away. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. The Rams once again led by Matthew Stafford at quarterback. First 12 years with Detroit, his 5th year with the Rams, including a Super Bowl championship, winning Super Bowl 56. The #1 overall pick all the way back in 2009.
Stafford was one of those guys, Mike, that I think through the first half of his career was probably the most underappreciated quarterback in the entire league. The talent was always undeniable. But when he was constantly discredited for was just the fact that he was on some really bad teams that were left to play really irrelevant football down the stretch. Immediately changed that narrative the second he joined a championship roster. Now, he's just trying to see if he can add some more hardware to that resume and solidify that legacy even further.
Ball out to the 35-yard line as they come up for 1st and 10. They'll go again here with Williams. This time the sliding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
You can tell the entire time that running back is just looking for his crease to get vertical and cut back. But the defense does a great job. Inside-out pursuit, strings this ball out towards the sideline. Nowhere to go, and they make a big stop for no gain.
They put Adams in motion. It's another run here for Williams. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. A gain there of 11. Good for a Rams 1st down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Mix in the runs with the pass. And if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
And this time they are ready for it. Thrown for a loss, and it's 2nd down.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
Now a 2nd down throw for Stafford. To the left side, and Adams has it. And play halted for a moment. We have an injured Seahawk player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. This is 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. He gets this complete, finding Adams. 18 yards on the pickup there. First down, L.A.
Rams, first down. A gain of 18 on the
Third
play.
downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
Finding room to the 20, and he's going to be taken down. Give him 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's a 2nd and 9. The motion man is Nakua. Stafford now on 2nd down. Here's a screen set up to Williams. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple, and it sets up 3rd down. We have an injured player for the Rams on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. He'll try to keep the drive rolling, facing 3rd and 6. Atwell sent in motion here. Throw on 3rd down, Stafford, and that is incomplete.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Sean McVay will send out the field goal unit. His kick is good. And play halted for a moment. We have an injured Seahawk player. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to possess the football for the 2nd time. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll go play action with Darnold. Smith and jig the left side. He's got it. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 40-yard line. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a first down.
We talk so much about starting fast and then trying to sustain that throughout the course of the game. That's exactly what they're doing here. They've got the early lead, but they're not content to just sit on the ball. They're looking to extend it.
He's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Omar Speights getting through there to drop him for a loss of 6.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now Darnold. Out wide. It's a screen to Cup. And he's going to be out of bounds just beyond midfield.
It's a gain of 18.
They gain 18 yards on that one. It's good for a Seahawks first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
Now he'll run it.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 5. Working out of the gun, it's Darnold. That's caught. It's Kenneth Walker. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. They get 21 on that one. First down, Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
That's complete. It's Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
Darnold. That is caught at the 3. And he'll take it on in. Cooper Kupp, touchdown Seahawks.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix and run, mix and pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. When you can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns, man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
Myers now to add the PAT. It's up and good. And the Seahawks extend their advantage to 14-3.
14. Rams 3.
After the TD, Myers comes on now to kick it away. Here comes a return from the 5. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Rams offense are now ready to get going. On their 2nd possession, they'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Well, sent in motion here. They'll fake the handoff now. Stafford. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Williams. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap to Stafford. Well, over the middle, brought in by Adams. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a first down.
Rams, first down. A gain of 14. First down, Rams.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. And think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often. So that might be his first target, but I don't think it's going to be his last.
And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
It'll be a run out of the gun with Williams. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Well, this play, Mike, is clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
Here's 3rd and 7. Parkinson in motion. From the gun, here's Stafford. A gain of 16 on that pass play. Good for a Rams first down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important. Like everybody stresses, we want to possess the ball. Give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
On the give, it's Williams. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
17 more
Give them
yards.
17 more, and they are on a roll. Another first down.
Gain of 17 yards.
This offense has to be thrilled, Mike, with the success they've had here on the ground in this opening quarter. Now as the rest of the game unfolds, everything in the game plan continues to open up.
Man in motion is Smith. On first down, right back to Williams. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. Second quarter now, Rams in control of the football. Here's 2nd and 9 as we are ready to get back underway. He'll complete it to Adams. Get about 6 before he's taken down.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on the chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend. Nice run right there. You get down here into the red zone area, Mike, and yards are hard to come by. He's able to stick his head in there and sets him up for 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Stafford. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him. That time, it's a loss of 7.
So 3rd and goal inside the 5, Mike. Defensively, what you're trying to do is, of course, keep him out of the end zone. But the second step is don't allow them to have any decision about whether or not they want to go for it on 4th down. So now after that sack, they take the loss and probably leads to a field goal attempt.
Going in the wrong direction. Now 2nd and goal from the 12. Out of the gun, Stafford. That one taken in. 2-2 Atwell. Touchdown, L.A.
Mike, their first drive, they had to settle for 3. So they definitely didn't want to have to do that again. So really solid drive from start to end, and they're finally able to cap it off with a touchdown.
Extra point try forthcoming.
For the extra point.
He's got it. And the Rams are back within 4. It is 14-10.
14. Rams 10.
So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. On the return, it's Rashid Shaheed. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Sam Darnold heading back on the field. They'll begin with 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Going to lose a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Here's Darnold. The 2nd down throw is incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
3rd and long. Darnold to throw. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield. 25 yards, the pickup there. It's good for a Seahawks 1st down.
10 at the 49-yard line.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why. You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
2nd and 10. Throwing. Darnold. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
And it looked like that zone coverage had his head a little bit spinning there, Mike. I'm not sure he got a real clear picture of what the defense was giving him, and as a result, he holds the ball a little bit longer than he would have liked, and the defense is able to get home.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. To throw is Darnold. There's a short one taken in by Barnard. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the 1st down.
When you throw the ball short of the sticks on third down, you're relying heavily on the yards after the catch. So give credit to the defense here. Once the ball carrier had the ball, multiple guys around him, corralled him, take him down short of the sticks.
And that one not returnable, out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. They'll start out first down and 10. Working out of the gun, Stafford. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Tutu Atwell was the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up second down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
And he's going to be marked down up around the 33. A pickup there of 13. First down, L.A.
You know, Mike, these crossing routes, you just see them being used more and more often. And really, it's because it's good against any defense. And what it does is it creates separation. It allows some of your best players to catch the ball on the move. And that short throw oftentimes turns into a long run.
And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8 at the 35-yard line.
From the 35, here's second and 8. They run on the jet sweep. He's going nowhere. Loses yardage on that play.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go, because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up fourth down.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on third down. It's something these teams stress all week. There's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up fourth down.
A fair catch signal, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Seahawks offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll start it here with a first and 10.
Example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
Ball on the 27. Here's second down and 4. Shaheed in motion. Darnold now to throw. Oh, trying to set up the screen, but that is going to fall incomplete.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
Third and short yardage, and here's Darnold taking the deep shot for Smith-Njigba. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
Here come the Rams as their offense drops back onto the field. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run by Williams. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Here's a handoff to Williams. Not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
The best linebackers at this level, Mike, they have all the physical attributes. That's a given. But it's really their instincts. It's their ability to dissect and predetermine where the ball is going before the ball is even snapped. And you could see with how fast he met the back at the point of attack, he knew exactly what play was coming.
That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. 14 on the pickup. Good for a Rams 1st down.
Good for a Rams 1st down.
It just seems like whenever they need a big play on 3rd down, you can almost guarantee that he's someone they're going to try to get the ball to, and certainly easy to see why. Clutch play by everyone involved and keeps the offense on the field.
1st down, Stafford. That's caught downfield by Smith. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. 22 yards, the pickup there. 1st down, L.A.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and that's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game. You know, Mike, what separates the really elite defensive edge players from everybody else is not only their ability to rush the passer. That's what everybody focuses on. But, man, the defensive ends that are good in the run game, those are the guys that never leave the field.
Atwell sent in motion here. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. As is caught left side, that's Parkinson. Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards on that connection. Good for a Rams 1st down.
1st down.
On the option, here's Williams. And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on 1st down.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
They'll run it. 1st carry of the game to Blake Corum. And the Rams are going to have it 1st and goal. He'll take this down to about the 3.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a 1st down.
Williams is going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
Point after, coming up here.
For the extra point.
The kick is good. And the Rams move out to a 3-point edge, 17-14. So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. Shaheed now to return it. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And he'll be set up well as he is past the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense getting set to get back to work. Will try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. This drive starts on the ground with Walker. Trying to find someplace to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Hill drops to throw. Over the middle, Smith and Jigba with the grab. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7.
He'll look to throw. They'll try to set up the screen here with Walker. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
And he couldn't get that one to check up. It'll keep bouncing into the end zone. It's a touchback. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this 1st half, putting up some big numbers already. And remember, we haven't even reached halftime yet. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. That one caught by Adams.
Stafford's pass complete to Devontae Adams. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line.
Two minutes to play in the 1st half of a 3-point game. We're back to Seattle after this. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't, and now 3rd down comes up.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down.
That one caught by Smith. That's his 3rd catch of this 1st half, and good enough for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And this is why most teams might decide to take the ball first after the halftime break, because they want to be able to control this middle 4. At the end of the 1st half, you can use your timeouts, you can use some strategy to steal an extra possession, If they're able now to go down and come away with points, they'll have a chance to double it up again right after the halftime break.
And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. These two moving the chains themselves. A gain of 14 and a first down.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. We've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll throw once more. Here's Stafford. He gets it into the hands of Atwell. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a first down.
A gain of 11, and it's 1st and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
They've got it at the 8, 1st down and goal. Here's Stafford. He's got his big tight end, Colby Parkinson. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end the 4th quarter in 2-minute mode. Now let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. It might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here going into halftime changes this entire game.
Extra point attempt to come here.
For the extra point.
He's got it, and the Rams go up by 10. 24-14 is their lead.
Seahawks 14.
Halftime, coming close, and not much time left as this one is kicked away. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Now, Darnold. Oh, he couldn't set his feet, but he completes it anyway. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd
And the offense will elect to burn a timeout. 5 seconds remaining in this second quarter. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Darnold. He lets one go. Looking for Shaheed. And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looks like he might have gotten there early. So they send out Jason Myers for this field goal. This is about as short as you can get. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks are able to get it back within a score.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. Probably a tough halftime for the defensive coordinators, trying to do something to slow down these offenses. What a show they put on in the first half.
Jason Myers.
Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. This one taken at the 7. Across the 20, they'll mark them down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. Rams offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. Threw him up the sideline at the 45. He is tough to bring down. A big one there on the ground. Terrific start to this drive. Gain of 23 and a 1st down.
Well, that's how you get a drive started. A big play here in the run game, and you have to imagine this is something we're going to continue to see. Success early in the drive typically results in success later in the game.
This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain.
We've seen this back have his way with this defense all game long, Mike. He's up over 100 yards for the game, but this time the defense said, we've had enough. They sold out to stop him. They hold him to no gain.
Williams, 1st down, and he's not done. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
16 yards.
A gain of 16 yards. 1st down, L.A.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
A give, and here comes Williams. This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of a yard.
We don't give these big guys enough credit, Mike, just how fast these defensive tackles really are. Here he uses his speed to break through, take the back down for a loss.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. They put Adams in motion. Williams gets it on the draw. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense. And right now, it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
Stafford now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Reek Woolen that time. Good coverage, and he breaks it up.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Rams will extend their third quarter lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Seahawks offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with first down. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Into the secondary, past the 40. And they will finally run him down up near midfield. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
Big hole up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick, and he hit it. And next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pickup.
Darnold now on 1st and 10. This pass taken in by Shaheed. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. 2 nice play calls here to kick off the drive. 15 more on that one.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They have a long way to go to get back into this game.
And he will get into the end zone. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown, Seattle. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, the offense does their job, but can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
Now the point after try from Myers. His kick is good. And the Seahawks are back within a field goal. The lead is 3. Seahawks 24. After the TD, Myers comes on now to kick it away. On the return, this is Blake Corum. He'll get this up past the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop. We have an injured player for the Rams on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. Off play action. It's Stafford. Oh, a wide open receiver. It's Smith. 16 yards on the game. And a quick first down.
Well, any fear they might have had that they'd come out of the halftime break flat has completely gone out the window. They're not content, Mike, here, just having the lead. They're looking to extend it. A couple more plays like that, they're going to find themselves in scoring territory here very quickly.
He'll go right back to Smith. They hook up again. He's close to a first down. The gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
And he's going to get him the first down here across midfield and down to the 45.
It's a gain of 8. That's good.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen, and not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2, but it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor, and when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
A gain of 19 yards. First down, Rams.
Now, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are wild. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
The tackle by Leonard Williams. A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8 at the 24-yard line.
From the 24 now, here's second and 8. They go jet sweep and give it to Adams.
So, Mike, this is a great example and a great moment to bring up why it's so important for these offenses to make everything look the same. Formationally, pre-snap movement, because the second that motion looks like a jet motion and he's going to get the ball as opposed to a traditional motion, these defenses are so in tune with all those little differences, they know it's coming and there's not going to be a lot of gain.
Throw it on third down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Contact, but no flags. It's going to be fourth down.
The thing is, the offense comes to the sideline now. The quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey, guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Rams add on to their lead.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Shaheed now to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker ready to take over once more. The deficit, 6 points. So a touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. First and 10. Here's a handoff to Walker, running to the left. And will somehow turn this into a net positive. Getting out of bounds after a pickup of a yard.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
Off the play fake, it's Darnold. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up third down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
They're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, it's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
And barring an aggressive decision here on 4th down, it just seemed like a really wasted possession to go 3 and out, not able to pick up a single first down. not only do you not able to gain any field position advantage, it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails as you find yourself jogging off the field and the punt team coming on.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense getting set to go again. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. On the carry, it's Williams. And a missed tackle there. He pushes forward. That'll give him 4 yards.
The ball carrier brought down at the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. To the left side, and Adams has it. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. They get 19 on that pass play. Good for a Rams first down.
And while it ultimately worked out for him this time, Mike, this is not a throw he wants to make a habit of, because that was risky. When he threw it, I thought that ball was being picked. I think he got away with one here, results in a big pickup and get a fresh set of downs.
Throw here down the field. Will fall incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
It's been a bit of a pedestrian game for this quarterback and ultimately this passing game here today, Mike. And I know they all would have loved to connect on that deep throw. I think that stat sheet would have looked a whole lot different, but just a little off in their execution and leads to an incompletion.
That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force 3rd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
To the air again. Stafford laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. Give him 14 on that one. First down, L.A.
You just love to see this effort, especially on 3rd down. You understand, you want to keep this possession alive. You have to do everything in your power sometimes to bail out your quarterback, and it's exactly what he does here, and it brings up a fresh set of downs.
Stafford out quick to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds. A pickup, though, of 6.
Devontae Adams. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Stafford working from the pistol. Now they are in business. Inside the 15-yard line.
It's a gain of 11.
First time they've looked his way all game long. He comes through with the grab and a first down.
On the play. And a Rams first down.
Throwing again is Stafford. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
They run over center with Williams. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up 3rd down.
He was brought down at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Out of the gun, Stafford. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. And the Seahawks are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th down.
File this play away. If they're able to hold on and pull this game out, we're going to look back on this as the pivotal moment of this game. Oftentimes, it takes that one big moment to sway the outcome of a game, and no bigger play than a pick deep inside your own red zone.
Out comes the Seattle offense as they get ready for their next possession. They'll operate from their own 3-yard line as they try to put something together here on this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with their fullback. Trying to use that big body to go forward. Going to get to the line of scrimmage, but nothing after that.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
It is 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, it's Darnold. Throw right side, home in by Cup. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll come up to 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, here's Darnold. Got it with Smith and Jigba. And he'll be brought down, but not before they move it up past the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
They'll pick up 23 on that one. First down, Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and plays like this, it just shows how special he can be.
That's going to be incomplete. Covered very stout there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
They'll run here with Walker. And he slips through an opening. Winds up getting about 8. That is past the 40-yard line.
At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
On 3rd and 2, it's Darnold. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds just beyond midfield.
That's good for a
12 yards on that hookup. It's good for a Seahawks first down.
48-yard line.
It's pretty evident, Mike, when a quarterback and his wide receiver are operating on the exact same page. The anticipation, the timing, the accuracy of both the route and the ball. When they're working together like this, that's the definition of teach tape. Just a simple hitch route, certainly nothing special there or anything downfield, but the idea is the more of those you throw and those efficient passes, the second the defense moves up to take it away, that's when you go for the big ones.
Off the play fake. Here's Darnold. And they're going to get to him and take him down. Taken back to the other side of midfield. And play halted for a moment. We have an injured Seahawk player. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Smith in Jigba, the man in motion. On 3rd and long, here's Darnold. Oh, this pass rush dialed in right now. They get him again.
pass rushers, they love these situations where they can just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. They knew they had a chance to put an end to this drive, and they didn't let it go to waste.
Kicking time for the Seahawks. They'll punt this one away. That one hit inside the 10, but it bounces forward into the end zone. Bring it back out to the 20-yard line. Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense getting set to go again. And he's had it going in the first half. Really had his way with the secondary. They have been powerless to stop him. Now they're trying to keep it going. First down, it is Williams. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
So, no shortage of offense in this one as we end the third. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. Stafford now on 2nd down. This one complete to Atwell. And he'll be brought down up around the 38-yard line. We have an injured player for the Rams on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Stafford gonna give it to Cora. But that quick feet there made a man miss on his way to a nice pickup of 7.
46-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 2. Man in motion is Smith. On play action, it's Stafford. Throw over the middle, brought in by Adams. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 19 in the air. Good for a Rams first down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down. Atwell sent in motion here. Play action, Stafford. It is brought in the end zone. Davante Adams. Touchdown, Rams. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Stafford brings the Rams to the line. They'll try to get 2.
The Rams will line up for the 2-point
He'll look to throw. He'll try to do it with the screen. And he is not going to get in. Stop on the try for 2. The lead remains right where it is. So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. Now return coming from the 7. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Seahawks offense headed back to take over once more. Darnold down on 1st and 10. Throwing off his back foot, and it's taken in. And he's not going to be able to get away. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage.
We call them safeties because they're usually the last line of defense, but not here. On this play, he's up there at the line of scrimmage attacking the offense, and he takes him down for a negative play.
Throwing, Darnold. Shaheed with the catch, and he's out of bounds up beyond the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 25
They
yards
get 25 on that connection. First down, Seattle.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. Looked like that might have been a RPO, a run-pass option. The quarterback has the ability to put the ball in the belly of the running back or pull it on the pass. Looked like you might have been better off pulling that one because he handed it off, and there was nowhere for that running back to go.
Right, Smith and Jigba has it. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Number 11, Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 8.
They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. Here's Darnold. Looking Smith and Jigba's way again, and again a catch. 11 yards for number 11, and a first down.
That's good for a Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Okay, so now you pick up that first down, Mike, but now there needs to be a sense of urgency. You know you need to score twice. So this one, ideally for the offense, results in a touchdown. But either way, this first score of the 2 needed needs to be fast because you need every possession you can here late in the fourth quarter.
And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. And play halted for a moment. We have an injured Seahawk player. Athletic training staff looking at him so we'll step aside. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Darnold. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
I wouldn't be surprised if some point here in the future, Mike, this quarterback drops back. It looks like the same old hitch route underneath, and they give a pump fake and go. You can lull a defense to sleep with a lot of these underneath quick game passes, and once you do, you can try to go for the big one.
Off the play fake, it's Darnold. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
And on 3rd down, that ball's incomplete.
And this is where the timing of these passing games, you see guys, they call it routes on air, Mike. During the course of the week, there's no defense, nobody playing on coverage, but it's the timing. It's be on time, get your depth, be where the quarterback expects you to be, because then when the game starts, things get sped up just a little bit more for the quarterback. And in this case, it's a perfect example. He's open, he tries to lead his guy, just puts a little too much in front. And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
So Myers back out there at the field goal a moment ago. Now set to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Corum. Now an opening past the 30. A very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. We have an injured player for the Rams on the field. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. They'll go with Williams. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And up until this point, this is not something that we've seen a lot of. His running backs had a really nice day, so in this case, this rep goes to the defense.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Stafford. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
I feel like their quarterback, for the most part, has looked pretty solid. I mean, it's everybody else that seems to have let him down with the drop balls and the mistakes. That's really what's killing these drives.
Throw on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got his man. It's Smith. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. That pass play good for 22. 1st down, L.A.
1st down, Rams.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Kyren Williams, the intended receiver there. And it'll be 2nd down.
I'm not so sure he would have picked up the first down had they connected either way, but still, disappointing outcome to not at least get a handful of positive yards on that last one.
To the air again. Stafford. As is caught left side, that's Parkinson. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
14 yards.
14 yards on that pass play there. Good for a Rams first down.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back.
From the 21, here's second down and 9. It's another run here for Williams. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So third down, forthcoming.
Marcus Lawrence on the stop. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
A shotgun snap to Stafford. He's got it inside the 5. And he will easily pick up the first down. They've got first and goal coming up.
That's another Rams first down. First and goal.
Big-time completion right there, and this isn't just a spot where they're trying to run the game out here in the fourth quarter. They were not only trying to pick up points, but they're trying to get in the end zone and extend this lead. So really nice job here late. We're going to see if they can put this one out of reach.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Smart decision there on first and goal. If it's not there early, don't get baited into a bad decision. Just throw it away and live for another down. Really nice decision making here. Brings up second and goal.
Line of scrimmage remains the 4-yard line. It's second and goal. On the play fake, here's Stafford. And the rush gets home. He'll go down. They got him. Derek Hall getting in for the sack, and that's going to make it third and goal.
If there's one positive remaining, it's the fact that they're still in scoring position. But with the way they've been able to move the ball down here in the red zone, they're thinking 6. But after that last sack, their chances of converting here for a touchdown have gotten a lot more difficult.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's third and long. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this ball incomplete on third down.
So you find yourself playing with a 2-score lead. Of course, it goes without saying, Mike, you don't want to take any unnecessary risks. The primary reads weren't there, works through his progression, move on to the next play, and just throw that ball away.
For the field goal, a 28-yard attempt.
Another one through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Rams will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get back at it. They'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Walker to start the drive. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Great job here by this linebacker, Mike. There was no reading and reacting. From the snap, he was attacking. Meets the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Darnold. There's a short one taken in by Barnes. Was brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Darnold to throw. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Critical 3rd down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the 4th quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
To throw on 1st down is Darnold.
Pass complete to Jake Bobo. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 47-yard line.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4. Darnold to throw again. Looking dig the left side. He's got it. The tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
A gain of 12
It's a
yards.
pickup of 12.
That's good.
It's good for a Seahawks first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Darnold again. He'll get this complete to Walker. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
We tend to make NFL offense very complicated, Mike, but sometimes it's as simple as this. Get the ball into the hands of your playmakers and just let them do the rest.
Here's a 2nd and 3 from the 33. Darnold to the air once more. He'll locate Cup. And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4.
A gain of 4 yards. That's another Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
To throw again is Darnold. Down to the flat, and it's complete. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 24-yard line.
It is 2nd down and 5. From the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Kobe Turner gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. And a few kneel downs should do it here. Defensively, they do still have those 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's the give up the middle with Williams. Now Seattle going to use the first of their timeouts, and they'll get together prior to the second down play.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line.
They'll go again here with Williams. Timeout Seahawks. That is their second, and that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it.
1-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 8.
You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's 3rd down. Parkinson in motion. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. Now Seattle will use the final timeout. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the first down.
Yards. That's good for a Rams first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Second and 11. So it's a win for the visiting Rams. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other.